How much of a blow is it that they've now lost that final stronghold in Mariupol?
Well, I don't think it's a blow in terms of strategic or military terms, or even as an image or a morale boost for the Ukrainian army. And I'm saying that because these fighters have been regarded as an amazing resistance, something absolutely outstanding. No one expected them to resist that much in facing an army and the shelling they faced in that steel factory. So at the point, I think people are quite grateful to them that they put up a resistance so bitter, and at the same time, this is more about their families. For the last weeks or so, we've seen their families begging with the Ukrainian government, with the world, including the Ukrainian government, begging with everyone to save the lives of these people. So it wasn't much. It wasn't about the military resistance as it was about saving their lives, and which actually the Ukrainian government succeeded. They got them out. So at the end of the day, this is, in terms of image, a victory, whereas in terms of military strategy, obviously Mariupol is now fallen into the hands of the Russian army.
Yeah, and so now Russia can turn its attention to reinforcing its operations in the Donbass.
Absolutely. I mean, they've done that for the last month or so. I just got back from Kharkiv, and I was passing through the outskirts of Donbass on my way back to Kiev. And I've seen major buildups of both the Ukrainian army and the Russian forces. Obviously, I couldn't really see with my own eyes the Russian forces, but you see the front line and you see what's happening, at least on the Ukrainian side, and you realize this is going to be a major battle this summer, and it's not going to end within weeks or months as most of the people hope. This is a long-term fierce battle for the Donbass. Actually, my feeling is that we're getting back to 2014, only this time that the scale of conflict is probably tenfold more intense and more widespread than it was 8 years ago.
How do you think that fight for the Donbass is actually going to progress?
Well, it's hard to say at the moment. You have the Ukrainian army who has, like I said, a morale boost from the victories and the resistance they put, not only in Mariupol, but throughout the whole country. So that plays a major role. Compared to 2014, when I was visiting Ukraine and I was reporting from the front line, the troops that I met this time in the last couple of months seem much more prepared and much more ready to fight the Russian army. So on one hand, you have this Ukrainian force who is really prepared to resist and to engage in some sort of serious conflict to fight for their country. On the other hand, you have the Russian army who is basically an expert, if you want to call it this way, at shelling. This is the gist of the Russian army tactic. We've seen their troops on the ground are not as well prepared, and they failed in most parts of the country. But the shelling they put up in most cities have succeeded. It's something that gains them territory. So Donbass, it's hard to pin at this moment whether it's going to be a Ukrainian victory or a Russian victory. I would say if the West keeps supporting the Ukrainians, my bet is on the Ukrainians to at least win some of the territories they've lost in the last 8 years or so.